G'day everyone, welcome to the theopalmills. Today's video we are going to have a look at some matrix and hopefully learn a little bit, myself included, on how this will treat. So we're going to do a quick treat on this before the end of the video, but this is a parcel that was in 2 lots that someone has sent in for a treat and possible cut for some of them. Plus I've also got a bit of concrete I'll show in a sec, rainbow matrix, and explain a bit of the differences. And so with this one, I'm going to cut to the chase and say check this out. I'll show you this way up first. A couple of issues with this one will be these lines, the red lines there running through. They may be going to fracture up some of this stone, but check this out. Are you ready? Look at all that colour. So if we can get some small stones in amongst these cracks, we could possibly have some very nice stones. But first we want to see how it's going to treat. So yeah, that continues on into there. So I have a feeling this may break up if sliced, but we'll get to that. Running through there too, like a lightning bolt. But yeah, we'll see what we can do with this piece. It's so beautiful. Let's zoom in actually, a better view. So it's just absolutely dancing with colour. In person, there is a lot more than what you're seeing here too. So that's one piece, and the rest of this parcel is some stones I assume has come from another cutter who's started rubbing out some pieces and treating some pieces and maybe test treating it to see what it'll do. So we'll give these another full treat so we'll know what to do with them. There's quite a few different types of matrix in here. A little bit of crystal at the end of that one. These are all matrix, including this piece. It's got some nice colour in it. I like this piece. I spotted this earlier. Might do a quick zoom in again. See if that's going to treat up and go black. That colour will absolutely pop, which we're hoping for. Kind of looks like an off-cut, could be a double-sided by the time we're finished. But look at that bar underneath, it's a bit weaker, but with the treatment that'll come out. And the reds and purples predominantly. It's a nice combo. So again, these have either been isolated from a parcel being cleaned up, and then some have been made into rubs, and for whatever reason they've done what they've done with the rest of it, and this is what I'd say they've not wanted to bother with for issues. So there's a big fracture through there, so that'll probably won't snap, come into 2 stones. We'll have to slice that. There's a bit more of a sort of porcelain sort of stuff at the bottom there. It's still got colour all the way through it, very faintly. I'm not sure if I can get that pick up. Let me see it a little bit. But there, the crystal there. So the crystal part's so opaly it won't treat, which is kind of fine because it looks great standing on the background. The fracture through there. So again, we'll have to navigate our way around this parcel. Check this one out, this is a nice one too. I really hope this treats. So that's the back. Bit of a fault running through there, might have to deal with. But if that treats up, it's going to be fantastic. And these fawny coloured and white light coloured, they'll all evenly turn dark, or should evenly turn dark. Nice piece there. Another piece of that. Might even get a matching pair of some kind. A few issues in this one though. Looks like this one's already had a partial treatment. Hopefully that goes dark. There's issue stones. Pieces like this deceptively actually just look like white opal. This is a normal glassy white opal. And sometimes that can be because of the high content of opal in it, in the matrix, which can affect its treatability. That's an interesting looking piece. I think it's more of that other piece, those other two pieces. Another matching stone. Here's a bit of crystal, I'm pretty sure. So there we go, that'll be a nice little stone. Yeah, might even cut that. I think the rest of this is much similar to what we've already seen. I think I need to get these out into the sunlight and dry them out. And get them ready to put in some sugar. And let's get this treatment happening. It's a bit more granular. Again, that looks a bit crystally, but that'll go in for a treat just to check. Pretty sure it's matrix. So yeah, we'll get into these pieces. But also I'm going to chuck in for a test treat some concrete matrix, otherwise known as rainbow matrix. So this has got larger particles in the host rock than opal filled around. And so sometimes this doesn't take a proper dark treat, sometimes it does. It takes a very good treatment. But I'm hoping with this sort of coloration that it does something enough to warrant being worth cut, which I'm pretty sure it will. It's a nice pin fire all the way through there. It's very light at the moment. And here's a piece I sort of started taking back. It was very thin layer on top and the conglomerate sort of larger particle material. Little stones and so forth. They're denopalized, but yeah, if I take those out, we'll go through the layer. So that one's going to be in is what it is, big specimen stone. So they're going to go in for a test treat as well. But first I'll get all these out in the sun, dry them off, and come back and stick them in the sugar. Okay, as you can see, these have been sitting out in the sun. Been out here for a few hours, just to make sure that I've removed as much moisture as possible so that the sugar solution can get it in. And so we'll take these in and start the treatment. Get the big pieces in. Alright, so this has been on for a good minute. Oh, watch your face, don't burn you. just going to pull this big piece out. It's rather hot. So I've got a plastic lid. I'm just going to sit them all on, and we'll come back. Alright, so here's the hole. Just going to let them dry a bit before I put them into the acid. Don't handle it too much. Oh wow, check the flush out of that. Party stone. So this concrete's taken on a fair bit. It's changed its colour. And you can see these rocks that were white, a bit dark from the dark sugar's gone into it. So they should treat very black, and hopefully the rest of this gets a tan as well. Very curious to see how this will turn out. So we've got a excuse me, container, and we'll start loading them in. The rest of those I might drop in afterwards. I'll put this in the acid first. So this is starting to warm up. Sit there, it'll slowly sink. There we go. So now, basically going to load these in. Won't make you watch all this. Here we go. Got an adapter. Now we can test out my new toy. I'll plug this over here. See what happens. Oh, didn't overload anything. Let's get some power. Backwards and forwards. There we go. It's nice and quiet. You've done a good job here, Bill. So power up a bit. Awesome. I want to have that mounted on my bench. And I have a use for this. So there we go, test run, it works. Leave that in the off position. Great little tool. Thank you, again. Alright, so back to this piece for Kenneth. Let's see what we can or can't do for it. So there's colour there and there. Whether it goes in too far and the sand beats it or not. We're just going to see what we can reveal. I'm just going to hit it with a Dremel. I'll probably just keep coming back, showing progress. See what we can't do with it. Alright, just in case I mess it up, I thought I'd come back and show you quickly this bit of colour under here. It's not too bad. It's like it's fed through in a patch there, but I'm pretty sure there's nothing. These I could keep excavating and there won't be any colour under them. So there's sort of kernels of potch in amongst the opal that tried to form. It's a very faint colour all the way out to this edge. It connects intermittently. On this side, I've had to excavate there for a bit of a sand spot. I'm going to slope that down towards it, see if that does go in a bit further. Looks like it goes back through to here. If anything under there lights up, it'd be good. So there, just an update. Might be a interesting little specimen afterwards. After all. My brain's going mental. Sitting here staring at the Dremel. Now I'm rambling. I'm onto it. Alright, so got this up to the 600 burr, sintered burr. Try to get rid of all the sand. Bit of a crack there, but that can stay. The only bit of sand is going to be that, because that ledge kind of goes in under and would lose this strip of colour. And if that's all we've got, we're not wasting it. So a couple of nice little flashes on this piece, on this side. And still got that sheenish bit of a flash there. Yeah, very nice specimen. So yeah, gonna hit the sandpaper. Excuse me, sandpaper. Gonna go back to the 400 and start getting rid of the marks that the burr leaves from rotation, and not so much the grip marks, but also the rotation marks need to come out. So skip to the end. Sorry, forgot to take photos or footage in between steps. There's our finished product. Nice bit of flash there, pretty gemmy. Bit of colour in there. And a bit of flash in here still. But yeah, there we go. Alright, everything out the treatment and neutralised. A couple of other things I got up to in between waiting for this to treat. Just got a few more stones. This is some matrix that won't treat, won't take the treatment at all, but it's still some really nice stones. And yeah, these were requested in some random shapes, and so I did one of each. Cube for a specimen. It's really shame that this stuff wouldn't treat, but taking this part off, it's got a bit of crystal running through here. So I'm going to hit this with a Dremel a bit later, not in this video, and see what we can do, because this will probably end up getting treated for effect and specimen, and a few more bits to cut up. And also, as you saw, we did our carving. Got all the colour we could out, displayed best we could. As I zoom in here, some really nice gemmy colour in there. And on the reverse side, in here somewhere. There we go. And hints of colour around it with potch kernels running through. And again, these are Ken's. And thank you, Ken, for the Ken link for the giveaway. Just to refresh everyone. A really nice little wink of colour in there. And that angle's best, I think, somewhere around there. Keep getting the reflection. But anyway, yeah. Back to the main feature. We have a bit of a mixed bag on how the results went. So we'll go straight to this one. I'd like to have seen it go a lot more darker. It did in patches, in spots. Darken there a bit from that face, but I'm not sure if that's going to be reflective of whether it faces that way or treats that way better than this way or not. I don't think so. I think that's just because it's the edge. So we'll see what we can do with this in the future. It's got some really nice colour. Really nice stone to be had if we can get some out with all these fractures running through it. And start with the concrete. So this came up alright. Camera's showing it a bit brighter than it is. Hang on. Yep, that's a bit better. So that's more true to life. It's probably even a bit darker than that, but we won't stuff with the camera too much. So yeah, quite impressed with the results of that. And other pieces I've got to play with. They came out really well. Some really nice stones to be had in this stuff. This one really nice. It's got greens and reds predominantly. A few big stones in that. Thinking one there, and maybe a teardrop on the end. But yeah, the rest of this is a hard matrix. So I'll go piece by piece and I'll try and flash up the before and afters. So these still need to be cut and finally finished and gotten all those little marks out and then retreated, but this was a test treat. Some of them not so much, but then some of them really well. Like this one. Still needs a little neaten up. That took a very good treatment. There's another one similar to it. If I can spot it. Oh, it's right in front of me. See the woods of the trees? So there we go. It's a really nice coloration. It'll finish up a very nice stone. I'm not sure if this is from a prior treat or if this did come out of this lot. It's got that chip out there and I don't recognise it. Partial treatment for this one. It's kind of nice contrast, to be honest. Totally didn't treat. This one will cut some nice faces, maybe this way up. Or if we can chase a bar through there with that red. It's a little bit odd shape, but we'll bring it down and see what's... we'll play around with it and see what happens. Yeah. Partial treat. This one's nice. Looks like someone started to rub. The back is a lot better than the front. Might have to rectify that. This one turned out not too bad as far as the treatment went. Interesting looking stone. I think that'll come off the top. We'll get down to that bar down here somewhere. Get some nice pattern. I think we looked at that one. No, we didn't. Look at the other one. Nice bar in there. I'm not sure if it goes all the way through. Or maybe. It's potential. Partial treatment. This one not so much, but this will cut a very nice looking stone by the look of that. And again, shouldn't have put that in. Partial treatment again for this one. Really nice red running through there. And this one, I'd like to see hopefully go a bit darker in a couple more treats, but this side didn't do too badly as far as the colour popping. Pretty little stone. And this one had that sort of an issue. It's got the fault running through it. So whether that's salvageable or just make it into a cheap stone. But here's the other piece, similar. With that cap still on it. Not too bad. It's a nice size stone too. Partial treatment. This one's nice. Took a really good treatment. Nice little pattern in there. Lots of pin fire. Again with a fault running through it. Well, we can get 2 stones out of that. Doesn't want to break apart, but it wouldn't take much to come apart during cutting. So might get a nice little stone out of there somewhere. In here. And last 2 pieces. So that'd be a nice little carving pendant drop. So there we go. Again, bit of a mixed bag, but these 2 turned out fantastic. More of that sort of material would be good. And yeah, not sure if another treatment might do it more justice, and maybe the vacuum chamber next time. Yeah, definitely a nice stone in there. So yeah, there we go. Got a bunch of stuff going on still. This is a bit of a random video with the multiple things I've got going on, but there's a treatment video, or test treat, and these will no doubt appear again when we get around to cutting them. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next video. Cheers.